Hi everybody, welcome to today's Ocean Wonders video. Today we're going to be learning about a very interesting bird called the puffin. So what exactly is a puffin? Well, it's a vertebrate, meaning it's an animal that has a backbone, just like you and me. It's also a type of bird. So they're nicknamed sea parrots or clowns of the sea because of their unusual colour patterns. There are three different species of puffin, so three different types: the Atlantic puffin, the horned puffin, and the tufted puffin. Puffins are very unique looking birds. They have black and white feathers, but it's their bill or beak that makes them really unusual looking. So in the wintertime, their bill or beak is usually a dull grey colour, but in the summertime, it turns into this outrageous bright orange colour. A bright colour like this is believed to help puffins attract a mate. There's also another feature of their bill or beak that's really cool. They have little spines in their beak and spines on their tongue that allow puffins to catch fish, but then to continue to keep their mouth open and to kind of hook the fish in and continue to hunt for more fish. Puffins also have orange webbed feet. Did you know that they're actually quite small birds? They're only about 25 centimeters in length, and this is about the size of a milk carton that you might find in your fridge. Puffins spend most of their lives out at sea. They rest on the waves when they're not swimming. They're well adapted to living on the sea, and they only return to land when it's time to breed. So when it's time to lay an egg and the egg to hatch into a chick. Their range spans from the eastern coasts of Canada and the United States all the way over to the western coast of Europe. You can find puffins in Ireland. Did you know that? Some good places to spot them in Ireland are generally off the west coast of Ireland, on sea stacks, cliff edges, and particularly on islands around the west coast of Ireland. Some good spots that you might see them are the Cliffs of Moher in Clare, Hornhead in Donegal, and of course Puffin Island in County Kerry. Puffins are carnivores, meaning that they eat other animals. They're also predators, meaning that they hunt out the animals that they want to eat. Their favourite meal is small fish like herring, hake, and sand eel. A group of puffins is known by a range of names, but the most common used name is a colony. Now, when puffins gather together on a colony, they can make an awful lot of noise and chatter up a storm, but unusually enough, they remain completely silent while at sea. Puffins can be in relationships for over 20 years. They come back to land every year to lay an egg, and they nest in these colonies all along cliff edges and along the coastline. They nest in colonies in burrows, or sometimes in boulder screes and in cracks and steep cliffs. They will also use other animals' burrows, like rabbits, and they'll evict other animals out of their burrows to use them. They usually nest in areas that are safe from mammalian predators, so other animals that might want to eat the puffins. And this is a reason why it prefers offshore islands, because there are less mammal species on these islands that might eat the puffins. When starting a puffin family, our feathered friends can either find or dig out a burrow, and they use their sharp claws and their beak to do this. The burrow is usually on a grassy bank or in a rocky crevice, and at the back of their burrow home, they build a nest lined with feathers and grass, and this is where the female will lay the egg. Like penguins, both the male and the female puffin will actually incubate the egg, sitting on it, keeping it warm, and they'll do this for about 36 to 45 days until the baby hatches. Does anyone know what a baby puffin is called? It's called a puffling. Such a cute name for a cute little bird. So the parents of the puffins raise their single puffling over the course of the summer, and the following year the parents will be back to the exact same burrow to lay one more egg. Puffins are able to fly and swim. However, they're a lot better at one than the other. The puffins aren't so good at flying. So they struggle to get into the air. They have to beat their wings 300 or 400 times a minute just to stay in flight. And then they often crash land as well. So they have trouble landing, crashing into the water, or rolling onto the grass, tumbling into other puffins that might be in their way. However, they're really great swimmers and they use their webbed feet kind of like a rudder. So puffins can dive down like 60 meters under the water in search of their favorite fish. So they're very good at swimming, not so good at flying. Puffins can live for about 20 years in the wild, but they do have some predators. Puffins have to be very careful of black-headed gulls. These large seagull species like to feed on puffins, and they can actually snatch them mid-flight to eat them up. Other animals like foxes and auks, another type of bird, feed on puffins too. Puffin eggs are also a delicacy for many animals. Although puffins are not classed as an endangered species, populations in some places are in decline. There are a number of threats that these beautiful birds face. The main threats are overfishing, so this can lead to a shortage of food for puffins. Another threat is pollution. Say for example oil pollution. Not only can this oil make the birds sick, but it can also affect the waterproof quality of their feathers, which is essential for their survival. Another threat is climate change. So a change to our marine environment, whether it's ocean acidification or change in sea temperatures, this can actually affect the food supply for puffins. So puffins are beautiful creatures, but what can we do to help protect them? Well, there's a couple of things. We can support animal charities. For example, Birdwatch Ireland are a great charity in Ireland that work to protect bird species both on land and around our coasts. We can reduce the amount of waste we create, and in particular, reduce the amount of single-use plastics that we use. That way, there's less plastic on planet Earth, and there's less plastic likely to end up polluting our seas. We can only eat sustainable fish. So when you're buying seafood in the supermarket or in your fish shop, ask where the fishes came from and look out for the sustainable seafood symbol. And finally, we can all take action on climate change. So you know your 7 steps that you followed in your Green Schools program. Spread awareness about these, tell your friends and family, and we can all work together to take action on climate change. Thanks for listening today. I hope you learned lots about the amazing bird that is the puffin. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again soon.